What's up, everybody? John Arapoli here with My MMA News, and today's guest will be making his highly anticipated UFC debut against Jordan Williams at UFC 268. That, of course, is the big pay-per-view in November, Madison Square Garden. Looking forward to that event. I'm talking to Garry, and Ian, thank you so much for taking the time out of your schedule and being here. I know we're recording this on a Sunday, and I know you probably have a day of rest here. You're getting ready to watch some American football here, so I appreciate you making the time for this interview. Really appreciate it, man.
Dude, appreciate it. It means a lot. Anytime, I always have time to talk to people. So yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. We just had a nice little chat just before air about the games this weekend. So yeah.
Yeah, man, hey, it's always a pleasure talking to you here and looking forward to seeing what you do in your UFC career. And before we get into this whole entire UFC stuff, I want to back up actually to the Cage Warriors promotion here just for a minute. You, of course, were a champion over there. They produced so many great, talented fighters over the years. So just talk about that experience of fighting in the Cage Warriors promotion, how that's going to help you now with your UFC career.
Well, Cage Warriors, it was the only promotion I wanted to sign for when I was turning pro, because I knew they were like, there's a reporter in Ireland called Pete Carroll, and he described the Cage Warriors belt as like the golden ticket to the UFC. And I love that analogy, and it makes a lot of sense. And we've consistently seen time and time again, fighters who will fight in Cage Warriors and are the champion or make so much noise in Cage Warriors get signed to the UFC. And it's a conveyor belt for fighters in Europe to go on to the UFC, and they have a great connection with the UFC. So my goal has always been the UFC. It's always been to get to the UFC. That's what I want to do. That's what I've wanted to do since I started fighting, and I'm here now. And a lot of it is to do with the fact that Cage Warriors gave me a platform to show off my skills. And they're brilliant. They're brilliant at what they do. They know how to. Ian Dean is amazing at what he does, and he match makes right, and he creates great fights. The whole team at Cage Warriors are brilliant, and I have nothing but good things to say about them. They've got me to where I am in a sense of giving me a platform to show off my skill set and my fighting skills to the world. And I've got a lot of hype because of it.
Oh, 100% here. Everybody has their eyes on you here. I know they have you pegged as the next big star here. Like I said, we're looking forward to seeing what you do now here in the UFC. And before we get into, again, to this fight, I have one thing I want to touch base on here. That's your training. You've come over to the United States now. You've spent some time in Vegas at the PI. You're down there at Sanford MMA down in South Florida. So just talk about that as to why you made the decision to come over to the United States and get your training in here before your UFC debut.
So it was something I was feeling anyway, in a sense of I knew I needed a lot of big, strong welterweights. In my former gym, there wasn't a lot of big, strong guys like myself, especially with the skill level. Like on Sanford MMA, it's the elite of the elite, training with the best guys in the world. And I knew to be better, I need to surround myself. It's kind of like you take a fish out of a fishbowl and put him in the sea. What happens? Like, I'm evolving and growing at such a rapid rate here already, because that's the type of person I am. I soak in knowledge. I listen. I learn. I try to get better because I want to be the best. And I just knew I needed to. It was something I was going to have to do. And my first choice and my only choice that I wanted to go to was Sanford, because when you look at the talent on the mats and the coaches they have, it's world class. Like, they are easily one of the best gyms in the world.
And we're talking there, obviously, you know, like the great talent, the great coaches. How much does that too, like just from a mindset, help you? Like when you go to practice every day, I can imagine you can't take an off day there ever. Like when you go in, you have to be ready to go, and you have to be ready to grind away because you're in there with the best guys in the world, right?
Dude, like I'm a fan of the guys I train with. Like, I watch them fight. I've gone to my mate's house, sat down, ordered pizza, and watched the guys I'm training with now fight. Like, that's what we did. Like, when you look at the likes of Gilbert Burns and Sandy Luque, Michael Chandler, Derek Brunson, just those guys alone, that's enough to go, oh, holy shit, like, those guys are on the mats. And then there's so many more guys in that gym that are of an amazing talent and so much knowledge. But, like, we've sat down and watched UFC events, like, and watched these guys, and now I'm on the mats training with them. Like, it's phenomenal. Like it's such an amazing experience for me, and I'm very blessed, and I'm very, very thankful to be able to get up and move over to America and come over here and train with these guys. So I'm very lucky.
So when you were talking there too about how like you watched all those guys fight, was it like almost like a pinch me I'm dreaming moment? Like when you first walked into the gym and saw these guys, what was your first interaction like with all those guys when you first walked into the gym and met them?
When I first walked into the gym, the first person I've seen was Henry. Henry came over, shook my hand, showed me around. He's been amazing to me ever since I've walked into that gym. He's an absolute gentleman, and he's given me a lot of time. And I look forward to seeing the progress so far down the line, because it's so many little things that he's going to teach me that are going to help evolve my game. But he was the first person that I've seen in the gym. And then it's just like, I'm just happy to be on the mats, and I am very blessed. That's the word. Blessed is the right word. Blessed to be surrounded by such amazing talent that I'm in a position where I can, if I need wrestling advice, okay, who am I going to go to? Oh, well, there's Greg Jones, there's Michael Chandler, there's Logan Storley, and May. All these guys are phenomenal wrestlers. If I'm stuck with jiu-jitsu, why don't I just go ask Gilbert Burns, one of the best grapplers like in MMA? And it's just like, and then it's like, oh, if I have any striking advice, why don't I go ask one of the best striking coaches that has blessed MMA and Henry Hoof? Do you know what I mean? It's literally a blessing to be able to be in that gym.
So as you talk about this, I am pretty sure I know the answer here. And we did talk about this off air, but for all the fans that are going to be watching this here, obviously we know that you're Irish, big strong base there in Ireland. Obviously we know that you love the Ireland fans, you love your homeland, but is it safe to say the United States will be your home base whenever you're doing a training camp or something like that you want to be in South Florida whenever it's almost time for fight night?
Yeah, I mean, it would be absolutely stupid to not take advantage of the training that I can get down in Florida. The experience, the knowledge, it's all there. I absolutely love Florida in a sense of the weather is stunning. I wake up every day, I put sliders on, I put shorts on, and I debate whether I wear a t-shirt or not because it's that warm. That is the life I want to live. I love the weather. I love the vibes. I love the training. I could get used to this life. Yeah, I could get used to this life very, very fast. In fact, I have.
And I say anybody can get used to that too, seeing the beautiful sunny skies there of South Florida. It really is a treat down there. But now let's get into the reason why we're all here today watching this interview. UFC 268, your fight against Jordan Williams. We'll stick with the gym-related stuff right now. Obviously, this is your first training camp at Sanford MMA. Just how's it been going now as you start to wrap things up here? Fight night's only a few weeks away now.
It's been phenomenal. It's been great. I've got so many little tweaks that I didn't think I needed to work on that I have been working on that have already improved my game massively. Physically, I'm a completely different person. I feel like I'm maturing and growing at such a rapid rate. Like my diet has gotten a million times better. I'm enjoying the like when you wake up, like we talked off air, when you wake up in the morning and you see this, and that's what you see, right? It gives you a certain energy where you're excited for the day. If I woke up and that was gray and cloudy and windy and wet, you don't have the same energy. I wake up here and I'm excited to go to training. I'm excited to learn. I'm excited to grow. And the gym has been has helped me so much in the sense of it's just been an amazing experience meeting all these guys. Obviously, a lot of the time it's still me meeting people and getting used to their training schedule, all the coaching staff, how they work. And it's been like a glove. It's just fit like a glove. Do you know what I mean? I'm really happy. I'm excited to spend the next however long I'm going to spend in that gym, however long my career goes. And I see it being in Sanford because the talent is phenomenal.
And of course, now your first career stop here at with Sanford will be taking you to Madison Square Garden here for the big fight with Jordan Williams. Tell us about Jordan as an opponent and what you've been seeing out of him as you've now been scouting him now for the last few weeks.
So, obviously Jordan's coming off 2 losses. I don't like it, but that's the fight that was offered, and I say yes. That's the person I am. But he's a tough guy. He hits hard. and he looks to come forward. Like he's in there looking for a knockout, and he's going to try to take my head off. I'm well aware of that. Good luck. Good luck. Like the problem is with trying to knock me out is you've got to hit me, and that's going to be his problem. He's going to be swinging. He's going to be missing. Being tough and being durable isn't something that is going to be good with someone who's fighting me, because I'm quicker. My brain is faster. I'll see this. I'll see the gaps. I'll see the holes. I'll find them gaps. And whether it takes me 10 seconds or whether it takes me 15 minutes, I'm going to hit you, and I'm going to piece you up. If he wants to take you to the grappling, good luck. Let's see how that goes. I have no problem. I'm a complete martial artist. I've worked on my ground game since day one. I've worked on my wrestling since day one, and every aspect of my game, fight to fight to fight, is only getting better. So if he wants to stand up with me, great, let's do it. If he wants to engage in grappling, let's do it. But at the end of the day, no matter where the fight goes, I'm going to beat him.
And I have to ask, one of the things you actually just alluded to there, I wanted to ask you about. He is 0-2 in the UFC so far. His back's kind of, I would say, against the wall a little bit here. You know, he's really in need of a win here, probably to keep a UFC contract here. Are you expecting him to come out guns blazing and try to, as soon as they say go, that he's going to come right across that octagon there and really start coming at you because his back's against the wall the way how it is?
I think that'd be a foolish thing to do. That's desperation, nearly. I think his aspect, obviously, yes, he's worried about getting dropped, and he should be. He should be worried about getting dropped. If you're 0-2 in the UFC, yes, you should be very worried, because they're ruthless. Do you know what I mean? They only have like a certain. There's a certain size roster they have, and the talent comes in and out all the time. Like it's conveyor belt. You come in, you come out. So he should be worried, but I think him coming out and swinging and trying to go aggressive isn't the best decision. I think maybe potentially he should be a bit more calm and just try win the fight. But either way, if he comes out aggressive, I'm going to finish him faster. If he comes out and be's a bit more kind of tentative and relaxed and calm, I'm still going to beat him. It doesn't bother me. I don't care what style he brings. He's going to be fighting at my pace, my speed.
So we hear the way you talk. Everybody knows you have all the makings now here of a future star here, right? Young, undefeated, confident, great on the mic here. Beautiful. Like you said, there you go. Beautiful. Add that to the resume there as well. You know what superstars fight at? They fight at Madison Square Garden. It's a big deal to fight in that arena. You get to make your debut in Madison Square Garden. How excited are you to fight there and get to make your debut in probably what might be safe to say the world's most iconic arena?
It's absolute. I don't think you can say might be. It's 100% the world's most iconic sporting venue. When you look at the sheer talent that's competed and like just step foot in that stadium, like you're talking the Alis, the Jordans, the Mayweathers, like the McGregors, like you are talking the best of the best. And now it's time for Ian Garry to step foot in that stadium and show the world what he's made of. And it's the perfect stage for me to go in and show everybody that I am the future and that I'm the next big star in MMA and that I am here, and everyone can just sit back, relax, and enjoy as they get to witness the start of what is going to be a nice historical run.
And the guys that are going to be closing out the show are actually in your weight class. I do want to get your thoughts on that, sharing the card with Kamaru Usman and Colby Covington. Just first, your thoughts just on those two guys and what they've done for the division. Their rivalry has really brought a lot of attention to that 170-pound division. And just your thoughts, too, on their rematch that's slated for the main event that night.
Look, both guys are phenomenal athletes. They're great fighters. And I'm excited to sit down and watch that fight live. I'm so hyped for that. I'm a fan. Like, I watch these guys. I don't watch a lot of UFC fights. I watch big fights, fights that interest me. Colby and Usman is a phenomenal matchup. Neither of them grappled last time. They didn't try to grapple, and I think that's a big, big mistake on both of their halves. I think Usman is the better fighter. I think overall he's the better talent. He's the better athlete. His striking is crisp and clean. His grappling and his wrestling is phenomenal. He's an absolute, look at the guy. He just looks like he is one of the strongest men I've ever seen. Like, he is built. He looks like he's been carved out of granite. Like, he is like he's insanely talented. And then you've got Kobe on the other side, who's known for aggressive pace, like just puts on this pressure. So I hope they grapple. I hope they mix it up this time, because the last time it looked like they were afraid to grapple with each other because they both had so much respect for each other's grappling. I think Usman will be the winner. I think whether they engage in the grappling or they don't, or it stays on the feet, I think Usman will get the nod. I think he stops him. And yeah, I'm just super excited for that fight. The fight I'm most looking forward to is Chandler and Gaethje. That has fight of the century written all over it. If that fight goes 15 minutes, there is no way on earth that is going to be a boring fight. There is no way that is going to be those two guys stepping back. Gaethje doesn't do that, and Chandler doesn't do that. That's the fight I'm looking forward to the most, because I can just see 15 minutes of chaos.
Yeah, I know that's an exciting matchup too. The whole card really too. Don't forget, there's also the strawweight rematch too. Rose Namajunas and Weili Zhang on there as well. Epic card from top to bottom. And one other thing I want to get your thoughts on too before I let you get running here. You were just recently I saw on your Instagram the Fury Wilder trilogy. Talk about that experience. See, there's nothing. They said there's nothing in sports like seeing a heavyweight boxing title fight. Just what was that experience of being there like? And your thoughts on that fight as well.
The fight was insane. The atmosphere was ridiculous. It was I've not been to many boxing fights live. That one was sensational. I mean, from start to finish, both guys were in there to beat each other and to win, and it was just a beautiful spectacle. And like, respect to both gentlemen, they put on a fight, and it was an amazing watch. And the thing I took away from the most was I cannot wait to find the T-Mobile. I cannot wait to have all the Irish flags running around Vegas, causing chaos, like just causing havoc, and then coming into the stadium and screaming, "Ole, ole, ole." I just can't wait for it. It's gonna be crazy. That's the biggest takeaway from that fight. But yeah, it was a blessing to be there.
Now, are you expecting some Irish fans out in Madison Square Garden kind of doing that when you're fighting, or maybe not too much for this time around with COVID? And I know New York City is really tough with the restrictions and everything else.
I'm not expecting a lot because the borders aren't open until the 8th of November.
Aha, geez, they're missing it just by a few days there.
No, they're not open till the 8th of November. So unfortunately, I don't expect a massive amount of support at the stadium. Everybody would love to be there. Like, I know if we had an opportunity that it would be packed full of Irish and full of supporters there for me, but we'll get that. I have a job to win, and that's to go in here and get this debut done. And for me, this is a fight. This is a fight for me. This is an iconic venue where inspirational people to me, like Ali and Jordan, and McGregor, like they've all competed in. This is a fight for me. This is all my hard work has gotten me to this point. I've signed for the UFC. I'm making my debut in the biggest sporting venue in the world. This is where I get to go in and enjoy like the fruits of my labor. My hard work has gotten me to this point. I'm going to go in here and enjoy this for myself. Everyone will be delighted because I'm going to put on one hell of a show. But the fight after this is when we'll get everyone in, the supporters, and I'll go in there and I'll put on a show for the fans.
And we're looking forward to seeing that. One last thing now before we close out here. Plug your social media, management. If you have sponsors, teammates, coaches, anybody you got to give a shout out to, please feel free to do so.
Well, firstly, I play safe. They are my heart. I want to say, you know what I want to say? I want to say thank you to everyone that supported me. Thank you to everyone that's been there. Thank you to everyone that's sent me beautiful messages about the documentary, about my move to Sanford, that's had my back, because that means the world to me. That's the main thing. And that's why when I go out here and I get that win, everyone's going to enjoy it, because I'm going to be doing it full of love and full of joy.
All right, there you guys have it. That was Garry. Ian, thanks again so much for the time here today. Really appreciate it, and really looking forward to see what you do in your UFC career here. Like I said during the interview, a lot going for you there. Pegged as a future UFC star, and I could see why after doing this interview with you here today. Again, thanks so much for the time, and thank you to everybody that's out there watching this interview. If you guys like today's interview, please go to the bottom, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to this YouTube channel, and make sure you're going to MyMMANews.com, checking out our great work that comes out there, checking out our social media pages as well. And speaking of social media, if you want to find me on Instagram or Twitter, I'm at John Eric Poli. We'll see you later, everybody.